guideline. I know we have, is it about 2 or 3 off-season election that they come in. So PDP should look at how they can build their structure to not dwell on the past. So for Wike, I think let's wait for the decision of National Working Committee.
In a minute, Mr. Noah, can you talk to us about how formidable you think the PDP is? Because one of the accusations from the lawmakers was that some of the people in PDP are working under the APC-led government, and some of the funds are being gotten from the APC, and so it's when it's time for them to oppose, there will be silence, because who pays the piper dictates the tune.
You know, see, I don't like to dwell on a rumor. You know, during build up to 2023, we have about 5 governors that back out from the party, which was obvious. But for now, I think we have about 13 governors that are from the PDP. That is in the entire Nigeria, which is a very, very good one for opposition. And now there are accusations that there are some PDP members that are working for the All Progressive Congress. You know, you see, these politicians, they have the way of name dropping. They have their way of talking about the issues, trying to paint issues that are white to black. But let's wait for election time, because this is not election time. I always say this is a time for governance.
Right.
Now mixing politics with election.
We're due for a break. When we return, we'll be talking about the FCC PC's plan to enforce price control. So we're going to be talking about that after the break. Do well to join us after the break. We're going to be talking more on the melting points. Thank you so much, Mr. Noah.
Thank you.
Initiated sporadic enforcement raids at multiple supermarkets and markets within the Federal Capital Territory to ensure adherence to price display and quantity regulations, aiming to reduce the cost of food commodities nationwide. It also said it would continue unannounced inspections at super and open markets in Lagos, Port Harcourt, Kaduna, and Ibadan in the coming weeks to probe the abnormal price surges and take firm measures against any companies caught engaging in unfair market practices like price manipulation, excessive pricing, or cartel formation. The Executive Secretary of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, Dr. Adamu Abdullahi, said this when he conducted an enforcement exercise to eliminate grocery store price gouging and illegal pricing schemes. During the exercise that lasted several hours, the FCCPC sealed 4 used supermarkets and evacuated 33 bags of fake stallion and Caprice rice filled with weevils from one of the branches of the same supermarket located at 58 Adeto Kumba Demola Crescent, Use 2. Mr. Noah has joined us in the studio and he's going to be talking more about this. So, Mr. Noah, how sustainable is this? How can we make sure that prices are, constant? Now, this is, for some people, welcome development. It's probably impactful, but I'd like to hear from you how impactful it is also.
Yes, but before I land, I did not land it in a few seconds. Let me land with the first thing that we said. At this point, I think I will enjoin other state governors, other state, even the federal government should emulate the governor of Akwa Ibom said, Pastor Moino, which is not mixing politics with governance. This is a time of governance. It's not doing anything political. Everything's concentration is in a rights agenda and it's governance. Rather than hitting up the polity, I think you should move to the area of governance so that I can move Nigeria from this level to the level that we can have at least 1 meal a day, because presently most of Nigerians are going to bed without eating. So now going forward to what we heard yesterday about the FCCPC, that's the Federal Consumer Protection Commission. Yes, it's a very good development, but for me, I have my reservation. You see, I don't know whether you read about the reaction of Mr. Dawosa, which is the Lagos State Chairman or Chambers of Commerce of Industry. You see, Sharon, we always like to put the cart before the horse, instead of putting the horse before the cart in Nigeria. You see, no country grows without improvement in power and energy. And unfortunately, in Nigeria, we don't have the power, we don't have the energy. Sharon, you can be a witness. I think for the past 2 or 3 months or 4 months, we heard about most of the company winding up. Some have closed down, some have big retrenchment. Few days ago, we heard about some banks, even the Heritage Bank, that have the massive sack and a lot of issues that have come because there's no power, there is no energy, a lot of things is happening, there's no policy. Government has not created enabling environment for business to strive. And there's, if you look at businessmen are suffering because of what is driving the economy, which is the AGU. There's no energy, there's no power, and there's no country that can grow without energy and power, and there's no country that has grown without government subsidizing one thing or the other, either the energy or the power or the food or one thing or the other. Now going forward to the issue of ACCPC, for me I have my own reservation, because the issue is, why did I have reservation? Now it's very good because Mr. President also, you see, the problem the APC-led government is having, they are like one step forward and five steps backward. You can agree with me that you see about 2-3 months ago, Mr. President come up that they are not going to intervene in the prices of goods and services. They came up to say that, but unfortunately, to the few they did to yesterday, we heard about the FCCPC going to few people going to supermarket, going to open market in Lagos and in Abuja, trying to look at the prices of goods. And the question now is, did you ask them how much are they buying the good? And I expect the FCCPC to go into the companies that are producing this good first, to tell them, oh, dollars has fallen from 1,000, is it 1,008, 1,005 to about 1,000 naira. Now, what are you doing? How much are you selling goods? How much are you selling Indomie that you make at 13 naira? Is it at the small pack? And today they are saying noodles. Noodles is about 250 naira. And the super pack that they make are about 250 naira to about 300 naira. Noodles is sold about 1,000 to 1,000 naira per one. How much how much are you selling it? For the time you control it at that level. Before now moving to the level of the supermarket. All the wholesaler, which is the middleman. Now going to the supermarket, they are as if you are trying to take these people out of the business. Do you know how much they are buying power? Do you know how much they are buying diesel? Do you know how they are buying tariff? Tariff that was sold about 1,000 naira was sold about 62 kilowatt, and it was moved to 32, 24. Now 1 kilowatt, 4 kilowatt of power is about 1,000 naira. Do you ask them how much they are doing it? Do you know how much they are paying their staff? Do you know how much they are paying their rents? So the issue there are a lot of issues. Now going to control the price, you need to go back to the foundation first to come up from there. Controlling the price now is a very good development. But major stakeholders, They have their reservation, and they are now saying that this is not the way they're supposed to go.
So it's a good policy, but it's not implemented right.
Yes, implemented. I always say that we have 3 cycles in a policy. You have policy cycle, then 3 stages: formulation, implementation, and evaluation. At this point, if FCCPC did they have the staff strength? And the answer is no. And there will be few people, I saw few men moving from one supermarket to other. What about Kaduna? What about, and they say they were moving like that. Why don't you stay and recruit the price, recruit their personnel? They go to the companies, they knew how much they are selling noodles to them, and they come up to say every noodle, they fix the price and they publish it. They say you must sell maybe like no, you've controlled the price from the company, and the company have agreed to sell. Not that going to, did you know how much they buy? Did you know how much they are importing it? And a lady said, I was reading something online that before you import or export anything up to Nigeria, you must find almost 30 to 40 forms. There are a lot of bureaucracy bottleneck in the port. They should do also that first before coming to business that are crawling. Most of the businesses in Nigeria are crawling. We know about I'm not trying to speak for most of the business traders. I know that there are some miscreants, there are some sabotage, there are some exploiters in the system. But the question now is, there are a lot of things that the government should do. They should put a foundation first before coming up to the. You see what the building has done a few days ago. I don't know why you follow him up on his page. You know they had this student loan. Eva has been there in America, which the former president of America, Obama, said that he used loan to go to school. Now, Biden now said that people that have gone to their own loan after 2 decades, 20 years, their loan is cancelled. That is the policy that we want. The government should look at the foundations first to see how they can control the price at that level. Not coming up to move some people wearing suit, wearing one reflector, moving from supermarket to another, and saying that this good is fake, this good is this. No, I don't. Such implementation, I think, is not an unhealthy one. It's not sustainable. It's not impactful. The question is, how long will they do it? So they should go back to the company to see how the company is faring, and they control the price at that level.
Okay, so what I'm getting from you is that this method is not impactful, and it can't be the plan for going from Kaduna to Ibadan and all of that is not going to work.
It's not going to work. For me, it's not going to work.
Okay, but now that is the issue, you're saying that they are putting the cart before the horse. How can the government now address pushback when it comes to prices when they leave Ibadan, for example, and that the prices shoot up after they've left Ibadan? How can the government address situations like that?
You know, the way you see the government knew a lot of things. You know, they call EMT, the economic management. The government has set a lot of. We have NEC, which is headed by the vice president of the country, the National Economic Council. There are a lot of them, and we have this man that's a manufacturers association of Nigeria. I think government should call these stakeholders, call them to say, what is your problem? There are a lot of galloping, there are a lot of shrink, there are a lot of hyperinflation, which you have not ever faced in the country before. Now government is doing everything. I think I follow Gadoso led administration since he was sworn in. There are a lot of concerted effort, political will to see how I can reposition the monetary sector. That is the CBN. I think the government is doing everything to see how they can stabilize the price of can control the dollar, which are about 1,000 to 1,001 now. Now, man, what can we do? As we are helping, please help the citizens. Citizens are suffering. The Manufacturing Association of Nigeria will tell them this is what we are passing through, and they will solve the problem at that level. Not coming up to implement the policy at a very, very wrong footing. So they should call the Manufacturing Association of Nigeria. Start from the foundation. Know the problem first. What are they passing through? If you cannot produce this, can we import this? Can we open window? Can we give a waiver to you? What is the problem? Is it the raw material? Is it the power? Is it the energy? Is it the personnel? What is your problem? Did you need loan? That is what they should do first before coming up to control the price in the supermarket. After all, the supermarket are not the producer of these goods. They just buy it. So, but if you control it at the manufacturer, at the factories, you can then say supermarket, you bought these noodles at the price of 100
Mr.
naira.
Noah, how about the factories that are not present in Nigeria? How do they handle things like that?
That is the importers now. You get the importers. How much are you importing this good? What is your profit margin? This is what I want you to sell. This is how you fix, because the government of Nigeria. This is the same government in the US. They can link up to them. They see how you can control it. They give waivers. If the problem, for example, now why government not declare a state of emergency in the food sector? They can declare state of emergency. Oh, noodles, grains, rice, beans. Since we don't have it here, if we are importing it, they give waivers to importers that are importing it, so that they bring it, so that the price will come down, so that Nigerians will be able to afford it. I think that is the way to go, not coming up to some people moving from supermarket to another. How are they going to sustain it? How are they going to come to you? How are they going to go to all the supermarket to control the price of goods and services? So that's my position on it.
You said this is going to affect small businesses. How so?
It's going to affect most business, because if you now I go to the factory, or if I'm importing for something like grain, I bought it for example at 1,000 naira, and I sold it maybe 1,500 or 1, and the price FCCPC come and tell me you need to sell it at 1,000 naira. Did you know how much I bought it? That's the question I'm asking. So it's going to affect business, and if those businesses close down, how did they think that if supermarket, for example, all the supermarket close down, you will have money, you will not be able to buy a food and eat. So that's the issue. That's what I'm saying now. So they should do the right thing at the right time, not trying to see how they can please Nigeria, because Nigerians were not happy when Mr. President said that they are not going to control price. At that point, traders exploit, take advantage of it. You can buy something in the market, and you go to the afternoon, and the prices have changes. You go to another supermarket, things are changing. This morning I went to supermarket to buy some item, some provision for my children, and I saw the price changing from the supermarket A that I asked it yesterday. So there are a lot of issues now, but they should go and they should do it at the foundational stage, which is the factory. The one their factory are not here, they should look for the importers. What is your challenges? If they are signing, if there is a bureaucracy bottleneck, signing about 30 to 40 forms, and they got a kind of racketeering in the port, they say so goods, we are giving them a tax waiver. Please, importers should bring, sure that they bring it into the country, and they see how, or if they can subsidize it because of the foreign exchange, they see how we can have food sufficient in the country before the next harvest season. You know, we are in the planting season now. That's why we are having a lot of food at skyrocket. You said Gari in Akwa Ibom said it's saying about 200 to 500 naira. So it's a very, very sad story. So that's why the governor of Akwa Ibom is doing everything through the bulk purchase policy, but we are just set up to see how I can ameliorate the situation by giving to the vulnerable Akwa Ibom people food to eat at 5 kg rice, beans, and gari. So that's what we are talking now here. Like what the governor is doing, the governor is seeing how we can salvage the situation, because in solving problem, we have about 3 stages. We have the short term, we have the medium term, we have the long term solution to a problem. But the short term now is people must eat. The medium term now is you give planting like the government is giving a cassava stem seedling, they plant. The long term is when the food come, if you don't have way to sell it, the government will buy it and process it, like what the governors Pastor Mono said when he was inaugurating the bulk purchase at the ITA. So I urge the federal government to come down to see how they can tackle the problem at the short term, medium term, and long term, rather than mixing everything together just because of they want to see how they can plan. Like what the EA said, I really said, I was so pissed off. You now about 700 kilometers of Lagos or Calabar coastal. You now only construct only 1 kilometer with street light. You now put it all over the social media. What about other kilometer? How are we sure that we have the kilometer before your ADS? Just only 1 kilometer. Everybody is celebrating. Are you sure the 700 will come before the ADS? So that's the problem we are having in the country. Just one milestone. Everyone will make noise, and Nigeria will just make noise, go to the bed. Before you know, they will sleep. We have told them we are coming, and the policy may not even move forward again.
All right. Speaking about long term, Mr. Noah, this issue of conspiracy is now a thing, because even Nigerians will tell you on the streets that when prices of things go up in Nigeria, they will not come down. Now, this some of these marketers take advantage of the irregularities of forex to exploit Nigerians. In the long run, how can the government tackle this once and for all?
You see, in the long run, if you look at section 69 of FCC PC of 2018 state that the commission has the power to convict or the fine of 50 million naira. See, there are stringent laws of people that have violated most of. You see, there are laws in Nigeria. Like yesterday, when the day before yesterday, when the former governor Kogi State was hiding before his godson 2 days ago, his godson went and whisked him away. And the chairman of our EFCC came up to say that it is very, very unlawful to obstruct agency EFCC from arresting anybody. Whoever that done that, and in fact you have said that they can even include army to fish at anybody that they want. So that is the issue. And from updated story today that we had they have directed the DSS, immigration, police, and other agencies to look for the former governor Yaya Bello, former governor of Kogi State. So that is the issue. The long-term issue, there should be a stringent law keeping in place that whosoever that violate this law. Like in China, if you steal in China, it's firing squad. So there's no way when you steal, you know that you are gone. Now the long-term solution that they should not be treating the violators of laws, regulation with levity. Now the question now, the long-term solution is like in this issue that we're having now. The Garosu, Wale Odun. I know Wale Odun is a very, very competent and technocrat. Garosu also is doing very well. You can look at his policy, and the federal government also report what we call PMS, the performance management system, which they are going to rate others ministers. Now, the long-term solution to this issue is, as the dollar is coming down, as the government is doing everything, we need to build production-based economy. Without that, there's no way we can go. We need to improve the power. There is no country in the world that has moved from where they are, from developing nation to developed nation, without improvement in power and energy. There's no way you can get. These things are not rocket science. And also, there should be a reform in the civil service. Thank God for the Rosonya report, which I heard yesterday that the NTA, some of the agency has been scrapped. They will match. So it's a very good one by the federal government. So those are the long-term solution which the federal government need to be done. So, but by waiting for the long-term solution, the short-term and the medium-term solution must be properly and sincerely implemented for the sake of Nigerians.
You talk about making laws, and at the same time, on the other hand, you're talking about disobedience of the rule of law, because it's one thing for the laws to be made, but then it's another thing, as we see with so many people in the higher echelon now, disobeying the rule of law. How then do we solve that?
You see, there's no country that moves without the rule of law. You see, the law is not a respecter of anybody. If they told the former governor or the immediate past governor Kogi said that today he will be hiding and moving from one container to another, he will not believe. You see, the law needs to be implemented. The law needs to be sincere. The law enforcer needs to be sincere. But you see, in a country that had moved from developing to developed nation, there are a lot of concerted effort by leaders to do that. But I believe that, I know that we've not gotten it right by now. I think with time we are going to get it right. The EFCC and other agencies are living up to expectation. And I know that there are a lot of political accusation that is a political witch hunt, which I don't believe. Because if it is political witch hunt, like example of Yaya Bello, Governor Yaya Bello, His Excellency Yaya Bello, could have come up to defend the 80.2 billion naira misappropriation in his 8 years. Should have come up to say, it is true, I have misappropriated, this is what they do, it's not true. And Nigeria will see the evidence, that we shouldn't make. For now, there are a lot of effort. There are a lot of, we need to pray and to see how you can support the agencies of government, to see how you can enforce this law. You see, we cannot move from where we are today. A lot of things are happening. Like in the civil service, if you tell you the corruption that is going on in the civil service, you even congratulate politicians that are the most sincere. So even in the civil service, there are a lot of things that we need to do. There are a lot of corruption. So every place needs to be sanitized. Even in the private sector, the citizen and the mindset need to be reset. There are a lot of issue of patriotism, which we need also need to ignite among us, even among our children. Like I always tell my children, this is the only country. Nigeria is a very good country. I always tell them, give them that patriotism, because I know certainly that this country will not continue like this. There will be a lot of improvement, and I know that things as we are going, the dollars and the economy, we see how we can in Nigeria wake up to see 1 or 2 meals on their table, and we are going to have the youth is going to have their job, and a lot of it, like they need a resolution is insecurity. Sharon, there are a lot of insecurity in the country. There are a lot of things like, you see, the president is having a lot of things in his hand, but the ones that need to be implemented, he need to implement it for the sake of Nigerians.
Okay, I really like your optimism there, Mr. Noah. It's almost contagious. But speaking of the citizens, now Nigerians are hungry. Nigerians need food on their table, and some Nigerians cannot afford to buy 2 cups of rice as it is now because of the prices. How can we help ourselves in times like this, where in cases of conspiracy, where we know that some items that have no business with the increment of prices, we go to the market and then we see that they have increased in prices? What can we do in situations like that? In a minute, before we go on a commercial break,
I think what the government should look at the stakeholders in that sectors, and especially the immediate parts, the short-term solution, which is the food. And you see, 2 years ago, the FAO, the Food Control Association of the, you see, what FAO, they gave that there will be food or famine in the country. They did not do anything about it. I feel at this point, the Nigerians to see how they can. You see what it happened in 1979, which passenger administration launched OFN, that's Operation Feed the Nation. What Nigerians want now, food on their table first. I think they should be a policy that every civil servant, every Nigerian will go back to the farm. Like what the governor has said, Pastor Moino, that every Akwa Ibom people must go back to the farm. If you died me, Sharon, if you move from here to Plaza, almost the whole land has been cultivated.
Let's go on a quick break. When we return, we'll conclude on that. Stay with us. The melting point and memories on 6.5 FM. We have 18 minutes to the top of the hour, and we're about to conclude on the melting point today. We've been talking about the price control and enforcement by the FCCPC, going from supermarkets to even local markets, trying to make sure that we don't experience the repercussions of conspiracy trying to make sure that there's no extortion going on in the market and there's fair pricing and prices are reduced and stable. We're going to be throwing open the phone lines right now for you to call in and contribute to the discussion. Now the phone numbers are 0803 085 7755, 0803 085 7755, or 0809 066 6909, 0809 066 6909, and the WhatsApp number is 0809 066 6909. We're currently streaming live on Facebook, and the handle is Memories965 FM. So now, as we're waiting for the calls, I interrupted you, but then one thing I would like to point out is the fact that the question was, we as a people, what can we do in times like this for ourselves?
Yes, most at this point, most of Nigerians are helpless. You see, the responsibility of government is to create a level environment for business to strive, and also there's responsibilities for security of the citizen, the welfare of the citizen, the protection of the rights, privileges of citizens. So that's the point. Most of Nigerians are now helpless. Some of them cannot move from one point to another because of the high cost of living. Now, you see, Sharon always said that the three classes of people we had in those days, 60, we have the poor people, we have the average Nigerian and the average people, and we have the rich people. But presently, we have a very poor people and a very rich people. So, and you see, you need to bring back the middle class. As we interrupted me, you see, the government should launch operation, like prototype operation, feed the nation. Everybody to go back to farm like what Pastor Mono is doing in the state. Now, secondly, I think the government should give loans. They give loans to verifiable farmers to see how they can pay for the logistics, and they can cultivate. Also, they can see grant and seedlings. They should give it to verifiable farmer. And thirdly, Bank of Industry. Also to see, because the people that reflected the economy of any country, of any state, are the entrepreneurs. They could be BOI they should give grants to verifiable, not card carrying enterprises. I'm not talking about anchor borrowers of the previous administration, where trillions of naira was sunk in, and all of them go down the drain. You cannot know how many people that collected the money. So the government should be sincere. Before you get the loan, you must be verified that you are a contractor, you are a trader, you are a merchant, you are an entrepreneur. Not you getting the money of government before you move to one drinking parlor, you now squander the money. Tomorrow you now say government have not done anything, and somebody just take 100 or 200,000 to reflect the business, but it doesn't have. So at this point, what the citizens should do, you should change the mindset of everybody going back to agriculture, because we need food on our table, and we must eat before we now wait for the 700 kilometers Lagos or Calabar coastal rail. We need to eat first before we wait for the tower the federal government is building. We need to eat food first before we wait for the east-west road. We must eat first before we wait for all this seaport, all the things we are coming. Because this seaport, we are the one to enjoy it. But number one, we must to eat. And any country with her citizens are not very well, that country is in trouble. So at this point, the citizens need to move back to agriculture, and government also to see how they can help the people by giving them grants and loans, so you can aid them to see how can have the next planting season we shall have food sufficiency in the country.
Are there penalties for people that are caught during this conspiracy or extortion?
Yes, I think, but I told you now about the FCCPC. They have the section 69 of FCCPC Act 2018 has empowered them to convict any conspirator, any defaulter of this price act, or any in this sector. You can be convicted. You can pay about 50 or fine of 50 million or fine. So they are laws. We have our laws are perfect. People are saying, oh, the only perfect law we don't have in Nigeria is the 99 Constitution. I stand to be corrected, because 99 Constitution they just changed the cover. It was more or less a degree, because it was given up by the military. The Constitution must be given by the civilian. So the 99 Constitution, they have some one or two defects. So for me, I call on constitutional conference to see how I can change most of those to change our constitution to people-centered constitution. But for the laws, for regulation, all of them are okay, because if you violate it, you go to jail. No, is anybody expect that whether Bobrovsky or the cross-dresser can go to 6 month imprisonment? Nobody believe that. Presently, somebody said he's in a prison, and when they wanted to put him, I don't know how they managed to know. They put him in male side of.
He was asked.
He was asked.
Yes.
He said he's a male, and for me, I thought he was a female. So he said he's a male. So you see that issue. Presently, he's in a prison. They see he has grown beard. So so nobody believe that he can be God. But it's the same. You see, in the country, the same person that was caught in the same act was given a 10 million naira fine. Sorry, bail bond to bail, but this one was not given. So that is how One thing in law, it all depends on the judge, whatever he had trying to decide. But one thing is certain now, you cannot see in Nigeria now, nobody's throwing naira again. When you go, people now be throwing money again. Nobody's abusing our naira again. Nobody, no matter highly placed. That thing has been stopped because Bobrovsky is now rotting. He's now in a prison for 6 months without an option of fine. And when he come back, he's not going to be an ex-convict. So he has served as deterrent to order. And the other one is the Kubana chief priest has been fined 10 million. And if bail. That bail that has gone for 10 million naira, it doesn't mean that he's a god. They're just telling him, just go to sleep in your house, go and take treatment. You know that the next as he's going to court, 1 or 2 court, he can be jailed. So that's way to go. There will be no abuse of naira again, and I think that's what they should be doing in other sectors, so that we put people in check. People will not just rise up and do something as they like. Nigeria is not a banana republic. It's a very good country that all you need to fix this country is us. Nobody can fix the country except Nigerians.
All right, my last question would be about job losses. Should we be worried about job losses? Because this is also a question, a concern from Nigerians. This path that FCCPC has decided to tow, should we be worried about job losses? And if we should, are there measures to tackle job losses?
Already the job losses by the decision of they took yesterday, because we heard that about 4 supermarkets has been closed down. And what about those people that have been working in those supermarkets? There have been job losses already, coupled with the job losses that we have in company have been closed down. GlaxoSmith, a lot of company has closed down. Some have gone. Some have said that in probation. Some have said that they're just closed for something like the Swiss company in the Kwai said maybe they are not closing down, but they just want is a temporary closure. So that's the issue that we are that we are having already. The FCCPC decision have there's job losses already because of the 4 supermarket that have closed down. So there will be job losses from there, and if at that point they are now creating more problem, adding to the problem they are having, how will we move from there? So for me, the decision, they should go back to see how they can put back or solve the problem of manufacturing production in Nigeria, rather than coming to people that don't contribute anything, people that they are not the main cause of the problem. They are businessmen to see how they can survive and also contribute to nation building. And you are now taking your policies to see how you can now going to telecast them instead of advising on controlling. But you're not going to pass a stringent decision on them controlling their price. For me, I think that what FCCPC is doing is doing the right thing at a very wrong time or wrong stage.
Okay, so what I have gotten from all of this conversation is right policy, wrong implementation.
Wrong implementation.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Noah, for that analysis. Thank you again, and thank you for listening to The Melting Point. We've come to the end of the program. Yeah, my name is SHARON MANDOR. Coming up at the top of the hour is the scorecard. Do have to stay tuned. I'll be back again for the midday news. My name is SHARON